Connected Kerb, we are one of the UK's leading providers of electric vehicle charging infrastructure solutions, and we aim to make EV infrastructure affordable, sustainable, and accessible to all. The deployment of our charging points is a 4-stage process. This consists of site selection, where the locations of the charging points are chosen, a preparation phase known as the pre-construction stage, the construction phase where the charging points are installed, and an operations phase where the charging points are available for use. The overall process typically takes about 3 to 4 months from start to finish. The first stage, site selection, is where we carry out the critical activity of deciding where charging points should and can be located. Our intuitive site selection tool assesses potential locations based on, among other factors, where there is no off-street parking and where EV ownership is high. Our tool will review any local parking restrictions and typical dwelling times. Once we have a list of sites pre-selected, we conduct an in-person survey of these sites for further investigation. In parallel, we will conduct a feasibility study of the local power supply and available grid capacity to ensure there is no strain on the electricity grid. We really believe in clutter-free streets and car parks, so making sure that our charging points blend in with the surrounding environment is at the heart of everything we do. Once we've completed all this, we prepare a location feasibility report for our client to review, and we're ready to move on to the next step. The whole site selection process takes about 2 weeks. The second stage, the pre-construction phase, takes about 10 to 12 weeks. This starts with community engagement, where we make sure that the local residents, employees, or tenants are informed about the upcoming installation. We see this as being a vital part of the EV education process, and this gives us the chance to engage with the local community and answer questions. At the same time, planning applications and permit applications are also prepared, and we start engaging with the distributor network operator. The Distributor Network Operator, or DNO, is a company licensed to distribute electricity in the UK. We engage with them early on to establish whether a location has enough charging capacity. They also provide us with quotations for any new connections to our charging points. Any person or organisation who wishes to carry out works on a highway will need to apply for a streetworks licence, known as a Section 50 licence. Once this has been obtained, our contractors can then get on-site to begin work. The whole pre-construction phase from engaging with the DNO to receiving the equipment takes about 8 weeks. Once permits and licenses have been issued, the construction phase can begin, and this is when the nitty-gritty of installation starts. The construction phase or installation requires 2 stages comprising civils works and electrical works. This takes about 2 weeks, including 1 week for the install and 1 day for commissioning. Spending 5 days on each site, contractors excavate and lay in all ducting. They then install what we call enabling infrastructure, consisting of an underground box that will contain the power and data pack, the brains of the charging point. The power and data pack and overground socket can be installed right away or later when EV demand rises, which makes maintenance easier and reduces the need to excavate the ground multiple times. In terms of the position on the pavement where we install charging points, we always install a minimum of 450 mm back from the curb, which is standard for all street furniture, on a 30 mph road to avoid wing mirrors hitting them, while allowing enough room on the pavement between the charger and the wall for wheelchairs and strollers. We always take into account disability requirements, making sure we don't use heavy cables or obstructive bollards. We also design our charging points at an appropriate height, leaving enough space around it to manoeuvre a wheelchair. We work closely with disability charities to improve our accessibility offering. Once the charging points are installed, installation managers can come in and commission the sites, which is where the charging points are checked for safety and functionality. Bay markings and signage are then added, and the site is then ready for go live. The final stage, the operations stage, is the point where the charging points can be used. At this stage, the charging points are added to various map databases so they can be found by EV users. The client will receive regular financial reports, as well as monthly delivery and operations reports once they are operational.